Hey, so I'm gonna be smiling like this from now on before I start a video because I often have incredibly creepy thumbnails that show my face all distorted and wacky, and it just looks so stupid. Um, anyway, um, so yeah, a couple of things. Actually, one of the guys who watches my channel is inviting me to do an interview on the Mandela effect. And I'm really excited about that. That's really interesting. I'm actually even a little bit nervous about discussing that, but nonetheless, I'm very happy to because, as you know, it's a gigantic weight on my shoulders, on the shoulders of millions of people around the world. And to be able to freely talk about it is a huge weight lifting off the shoulders. And it's necessary to talk about it. So, not sure exactly when yet, but figure it out and I'll make a video and post it below. And real quick, just a short discussion today. I've been reflecting a lot on the near death experience podcast recently. Jeff Mara about individuality as a soul. So it's hard for me to believe that are actually gurus and people out there that think that you lose your individuality when you die and you just sort of merge with source consciousness and you're not yourself anymore essentially. This guy, Afterlife Topics and Metaphysics, he uh, he talks about that not being the case, and I'm gonna 100% agree, and I will explain how it looked like to me from my own personal subjective experience, not going by any other NDE. Perhaps there have been some where they felt like they have lost their individuality and they're just no longer them. I'm not discounting those people's experiences if that's what they had. I just wanted to clarify my own experience and try to make it in human terms, even though it's incredibly hard to describe. Um, Let me just try to put a perspective on it. Well, look at it this way. So, if you're a cell in a body with trillions of cells, that cell, even if it's part of the whole, is still an individual cell and it never merges and just becomes the entire body, right? No matter what, the body is made up of cells. So I actually have a microscope at home and I like picking up leaves and flowers and things to go look at home. And I can see those cells, and those cells make up part of the whole, but they're not the whole. So the drop of water in the ocean is not the entire ocean. So to me, you can't lose your individuality. However, when I was in that state, in that condition, in the heavenly bliss, I would describe my self awareness and my individuality as being hyper pure, hyper refined. Um, I bring back memories of my childhood right now. When I was around 5 years old, I would go to camp in upstate New York in the summertime. And I have these really vivid memories of be going to this pond, like going for a walk with my grandpa and cousins to this pond. Had a bunch of ducks, and I just felt so at peace and so inquisitive in that childlike manner being in that pond. And I felt a really close connection with God and nature. And the nature, the memory of going to that pond is so ingrained into me that I actually think about it often for years and years now. There's just this childlike sense of exploration and kind of inquisitiveness that you have being in that condition, in that pure soul like condition where it is very childlike. That's why Jesus said to be like a child. It makes sense to me because I felt that childhood excitement and bliss multiplied by a billion. You can't even imagine the extraordinary sense of wonder, beauty and peace and love and unity. And I'm not saying you do merge with the whole. You do connect to all that is. You fuse with all of it, with the singularity, with God, but you don't become God, right? Even in that state of being completely at one with everything, with all the matter around you, with all the souls around you, you still retain your sense of who you are. And I'm not saying that I was necessarily Daniel, remember? So, this experience on earth when I was there felt like it happened a billion years ago. It was just an irrelevant little, tiny little speck of time that passed in just this minuscule little moment, this tiny little dream I had, Earth, whatever, and it was just whatever. It didn't feel important anymore. Okay, I'm here now, and we take life so seriously, and we're so worried about stuff and this and that, and oh my god, and you go there and you're like, whatever. It was nothing. And it's awesome, guys. It is freaking liberating and exhilarating beyond what you can even comprehend. Um, and you don't want to lose your individuality. There is a pure version of you, a refined version of your pure soul expression that is ingrained within you by God. You that are the spark of that eternal creation, and that pure, refined self sense of self is forever. It is you forever. You are a beautiful creation, and for you to lose that, losing your individuality would ruin that beautiful spark of God that He created you. You see what I mean? So, having said that, real quick before I go, I would say that in the hellish state, in the hellish condition, your individuality is in some ways even more refined. When I had my hellish OBE, even though I was surrounded by countless people, it was an experience where I couldn't have possibly felt more separated from God and from even those people, even though we were of a like mind in that condition. It was pure selfishness. It was pure self absorbed individuals that were completely separated, completely individual, and not connected to anything. So you not only not lose your individuality, in that hellish condition, you are um, your negative attributes are exaggerated multiple times over, and you become that self-absorbed, dark version, the yin yang, the dark aspect of you in that condition. So ultimately, what I'm trying to say is that you don't lose your individuality, in my personal subjective experience, you have a sense of you. That is a complex thing, and it is very hard to define what you are and who you are, but you have to think of it as something far beyond biology, far beyond the brain, far beyond even the mind, and go into yourself and look at the purest element of your soul essence. That's all I have for today. If I don't make a video by the interview, uh, I'll make a very short video just sharing the Mandela Effect interview down below, and hopefully it goes well. See you later.